I'm Shabadoo, and you're watching BDTV.
Well, it's like, one, like I said, one of the first things I want to do, people don't know I'm a health advocate. Two people I think about, I know for a fact that Master P, he has sleep apnea because I've been with him so many times and I've seen, him being up for a couple of days, and recording. And that's pretty common, in the music industry, because it's pretty common because majority of the music industries, like let's say Michael Jackson and Prince, these guys stay up all day, days and days at a time, never get any sleep. And one thing I like to tell people is that they got to remember, Michael Jackson and Prince, that's all they wanted was a good night's sleep. And they was willing to take anything to get that good night's sleep, even the drugs from the doctors. Both of them died from overdose, but both of them just wanted to sleep. And think about it, man. Come on, you're in the music industry. You're in the studio all night. And I know cats been there all night, all day, sleep on the floor, sleep on the couch, wake up 2-3 hours later,
exactly.
Go back and start rapping again. Man, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. And not even, Shaquille O'Neal has sleep apnea. Lady Gaga has sleep apnea. A lot of these people, man, just don't understand how important sleep is. And, I feel myself like I like to spread health more than wealth, if that makes sense to you. I'm really worried about, the health and wealth of you, me, your family, my family, because without health, you don't have no wealth.
Exactly.
And I try to tell people all the time, well, fuck, how much money can you make? And you can't enjoy it, I don't need no Rolls Royce and no Ferrari to make me who I am. Man, the best vehicle I own is my John Deere tractor. I love my John Deere. It's the best thing I own. I love it. And it's just so many people I know, man, that's having these health problems. I'm taking like me, for instance, I'm one of very few people tell you, I'm surprised I haven't been in prison yet because I have mental illness. I suffer from depression, anxiety, and I'm not ashamed to tell nobody either. But there's a couple of times, I've gotten into some situation and some fights. Man, I just had to just control myself, man, because I wanted to kill people at one time. And that's the way I played football. Even though I was a football player, man, I was mean. I've always been mean, but I never knew why. It's just like, I just feel like, mental illness is something that need to be talked about and just don't be talked about at all. I live in Louisiana, and right now everybody's talking about Britney Spears. Britney Spears really is going through some mental problems, and she has mental problems. She's having, but not just her. Adele has mental issues. Lady Gaga have mental issues. There's so many, there's so many people in the music industry that everybody think it's perfect. That's not perfect, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's you make a great point, because I think there's a huge link between like mental health and certain levels of artistry and stuff as well. Because when we look at some of the greats, the Marvin Gaye's, the Jim Morrison's,
right.
There's so many different great artists, but when you get into what they was about and the stuff that was going on in their head, a lot of it was Jimi Hendrix, a lot of people,
right, correct,
aspects and stuff. So I think it's very important, and it's definitely overlooked. So what you do in terms of raising awareness is definitely great, man. Because it's needed and it's necessary.
There's so many people ashamed to talk about it. People they think that talking about mental illness is taboo. And like I tell people all the time, not getting help is the crazy part. But getting help is the okay part. And I've had people tell me all the time, how can you talk about your mental health? It's easy because I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks about me. You see, they're going to talk about me if I'm good or bad. They can always talk about me. And when I was rich and when I'm poor, motherfuckers still talked about me. Doesn't make a difference, you know? And I think a lot of people, you know, especially in the hip hop community, in the black community, they're saying, oh, I'm embarrassed, you know, I'm ashamed. It's something I want to talk about. No, it's something that should be talked about. And, you know, you'd be amazed how many, you know, like I said, famous people, you know, with mental illness and sleep apnea and all that kind of stuff, because it all plays hand in hand. You know, just like I tell people I have a brain disease called white Maslow's disease. And what it is that when I played professional football, a lot of people don't know that, but I played playground, high school, college, and professional. And over the years of, you know, hitting, I damaged the deep tissue in the nerves of my brain, and it's called white Maslow's. What it basically is this deep. It's tissue damage. That's clear, you know.
Yeah.
And dementia's gonna kick in pretty soon, you know. But you know, I'm ready to take it as a fight. And I mean, my brother, let me tell you something. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me, you know. I mean, I've lived I lived the kind of life that people dream about.
No.
I've driven every car I ever wanted. I lived in mansions. I travel all over the world. I've been to music awards. I hung out with famous people, you know. I mean, and I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me, but I do think it's my job to educate me and you, educate people, you know, about what's going on. Because, you know, if you look at a lot of these, you know, oh my God, I can't think of a young guy, not young, but the guy who was with Tribe Called Quest, the little bitty short one that died. I can't think of his name, but you know, he died. You know, he died of diabetes. Okay. You know, and you know, we talk about Heavy D and the Boys. You know, Heavy D. You know, he died from a blood clot. You know, I mean, little simple. You know, I mean, just stuff that we can take care of, man. And you know, like I said, you know, I don't want to be rich. You know, I don't do things for money. I do things for friendship and health. You know, I don't want, you know, I got friends of mine that are billionaires that I socialize with, you know, and man, you know, it's not something I want, you know.
I think, you know, like you said, raising awareness and helping people is ultimately one of the most important things, because, you know, health is wealth. And if we can lead people with a healthier way of thinking, it can lead to a better life that we can go on to live in, you know, a better positive way for people to, you know, act out and enjoy their life and stuff. I mean, one of the points you made, which I thought was great, which is, you know, about mental health, is just the taboo that we always see, especially within black communities and stuff.
Right.
Even out here in the UK, it's the same. Mental health is high. You know, this year we observed Mental Health Week, Mental Health Month and stuff. Mm-hmm. I've got friends, family members and stuff who, you know, suffer from it in different ways. Even myself, I don't go on record with a lot of stuff, but you know, as like you said, a lot of stuff goes in hand. So a lot of artists, creatives, and certain types of individuals still have some of these aspects. So one of the things that you actually brought to my attention, which was great, was the work that you was doing around sleep apnea, because there's things like that I think some people may not pay particular attention to, because while we're in the lifestyle and we're in a certain kind of way of living and just functioning within the industry, you know, I remember being at points where I couldn't go to sleep unless I had to have music or something playing or something in the background or some kind of stuff. But just, you know, being up and stuff. But
that's a sleep disorder.
Yeah.
Insomnia. Yeah, it's a sleep disorder. You know, and I mean, think about the people you know in hip hop, in music. If they're not in the studio, they're on tour. You know, when they do these tours, you know, afterwards a lot of people go out to clubs. You know, they hang out. Really, you know, a lot of these people only sleep. And I mean, I've seen it. You know, I've seen it. I've seen Master P stay up for 3-4 days without sleeping. When he was doing the last Don, you know, the LP, I still remember this. He couldn't even sleep. You know, he had to go. And, you know, but, you know, I think about my old teammates, you know, football and professional wrestling. You know, I lost so many of them dying in their sleep, you know. And a lot of people, just don't understand sleep apnea. You talk to the average person about sleep apnea, they think only unhealthy fat people have sleep apnea. That's false. It's not true. A lot of professional bodybuilders, a lot of people in fitness, powerlifters, football players, wrestlers have sleep apnea because what is done, we have so much muscles in our neck and we train so hard that we have so much muscles and the muscles collapse in our airway. And that's why you hear people snoring, they're snowing because the airway is shutting down, And even infants and kids have sleep apnea because they have something called a tethered tongue. A tethered tongue is, you ever heard somebody talk with a lisp in their tongue?
Yeah.
It's a weak tongue. And when somebody lays on their back, the tongue is rolling back to their throat, and that's what kills them. People just don't know this. Come on, how many times you been around somebody and they start snoring and you just laughing your ass off? Just laughing and joking.
I've done it to people a few times myself. I've been the one that's ended up snoring.
Yeah, but that's just your body asking for help. People realize a lot of breed of dogs have sleep apnea. When you hear, that's the heavy breathing. Pit bulls, bulldogs, pugs. A lot of animals, and it's just that. My brother.
Yeah, because even with the list that you mentioned, even in regards to hip hop, there's quite a lot of rappers that have died, in their sleep and stuff as well. And I know people have suggested other things to have been the reason and stuff behind it, but they've still, died over that period.
Because that's the first thing they talk about Michael Jackson and Prince, or they died of an overdose. Yeah, because they were trying to fucking sleep. That's all they wanted to do was sleep. They were willing to pay the price, mentally, physically, financially, just for a good night's sleep. That's all they want. It sounds crazy to people, but come on. Especially, when you deal with depression, anxiety, the worst thing you could do is think. Thinking is not your friend, when you have depression. Man, there's so many times, man, my brother, I ain't lying to you. Especially when I was with No Limit, we would get into confrontation with people, man. And I had to control my emotion in myself because I want to kill everything, because I'm so scared somebody will come back and retaliate on me, come back for me. So my whole thing is, I'm gonna hurt you so you can't hurt me. That's like, I'm not paranoid, but there's not one person, but two take it back, D90 and Man. That's it. 2 people know where I live at. My neighbors don't even know I'm Big Swoll from No Limit. God don't talk about it. They don't even know. These kids that come up down the street, they just know me as the old man that walk around with a gun. And that's it. And I mean, nobody knows where I live. And I'm not doing that because, to be evil. I'm doing it because in a rap game, they're not gonna come after me. They're gonna come after my family, if that makes sense. That's the way you make a nigga suffer. You let that nigga live, but you kill something that he loved. If that makes sense to you, And man, and many, many times, man, I just like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised I'm not in prison. I'm not bullshitting, seriously, because, when I get heated, I get heated. I'm a very nice guy, but don't push that button. Don't push it. And like I said, I'm not sitting to tell nobody about my mental illness. When I was playing Paul, period, I talked to one of my old girlfriends in college who's a psychiatrist now. And we was talking about, when I was, in college, and I used to, after a football game, man, I'd be in my bed crying because I had headaches. I couldn't sleep. I had headaches so bad. I lost millions of dollars because of depression. When I was in college, I tried to kill myself. And I would sit in dark rooms all the time. I was very distant with people. And man, I was supposed to be a 2nd round pick, And And I never forget my senior year, I went to my coach and I said, Coach, something's wrong with me. He said, huh? I said, man, something's wrong with me. Mentally, I'm just not here. Instead of them helping me, he benched me. Cost me millions of dollars. And that's all, I was a 20-year-old kid just asking for help. That's all I want was help. So I had to go to Denver Broncos as a free agent, but I kicked ass. They was calling me the first round pick, of the camp. I was the shit, but but it's called, depression, This is like one thing I would like to tell women, and I tell young girls this all the time, my daughters and her friends, and I tell them, remember this, a man can't love a woman who don't love themselves. The hardest thing in the world to do is to love somebody who's not in love with themselves. How can I love you when you don't love you? And all these young girls are like, I can't find a man. I can't do this. How about finding yourself first? You gotta fall in love with you first. And once that happens, man, you could be happy. People just don't see it that way. I wrote a book for empowering women about weight loss issues. I was asked the other day about the situation with Master P and his wife, Sonia C. Sonia C is a personal friend of mine because we went to high school together. I knew Sonia before I knew P. I met P through V90 and Earl and Ed Thomas at the University of Houston.
I mean, is V90 related to Sonya in any way?
To P?
No, to Sonya.
No,
Okay.
no.
I thought it connected. Yeah, okay.
No, Sonya has a sister named Mooney, and no, they're not related. But
okay,
but I hate what people are doing to her, in the public. I don't like it, because I'm speaking in general on this. If my queen has a problem, I'm her king. I'm gonna get that problem taken care of. That makes sense to you? I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect my queen. I'm not gonna go on the talk show, anything. If my wife needs help, or my queen needs help, I'm gonna get her that help if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
I think as a man, to go on national TV and call your wife a crackhead and a drug addict, it just didn't sit well with me. I didn't like it.
Did P say that though? Did he say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I never, I don't like it. I never will like it. And like I said,
I think they made amends though, because recently she was at I think with her son's graduation.
Yeah, I seen that. People, but see, this is a funny thing. People don't know that Sonya C was one of the very first artists at No Limit. She did all this rapping and singing and modeling on the first couple of CDs.
That's why I asked if she was related to V90, because was her name Sonya Carter, and he was Bessie Carter or something, but it's a totally different name. But
see, this people don't realize that V90 was one of the first people at No Limit, as an employee.
Okay.
And so him and V90 and Percy, that's why they named their children Hersey and Percy. Then they named their sons after each other.
Okay.
Well, that's where I got some strange ass names.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Because they were real good friends in high school and in college. And man, but I've said this once. I'm gonna say this twice. And my brother, and I hope he sees this, but I get mad when people tell me, "Oh, Swoll, you mad at P?" I'm not mad at P. I'm hurt because I thought he was my nigga. You see what I'm saying? I took, when I was working for No Limit, when P was trying out for basketball, I took care of that nigga. I made sure he went to practice on time. I made sure he worked out. I made sure he ate. I left my family for 6 months, to be with him, trying to get his basketball career. I was his bodyguard. I was his trainer. Man, pick up the phone hey dog, how you doing? Hey Miss Swoll, how my boy doing? Y'all need anything? Y'all need grits? Y'all need some rice? Y'all need some water or something? I haven't got none of that. The only person that called me is B90 a man. That's it. And like I say, I've had open heart surgery. I've had 2 heart failures. And I mean, I'm not a bitter nigga because it doesn't really matter to me. But I thought I was your boy.
Yeah,
I thought you around.
What about like Silk any of the other members of the tank you kept in, or even some of the other artists? Because I mean, at one point, you'd have been around everybody really. So
yeah.
But you say B90, man. I mean, I know you're online, so you see like, Reggie, and you got like these other artists doing their thing. Nobody gonna reach out or nothing.
Reggie's hurt. He's not mad. He's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Man, Reggie Nelly's making some good music down here. They say he's hurt. Soulja Slim, he was hurt. Let me tell you something. People don't realize this. I still remember the day when No Limit started going down. No Limit started going down when Cain and Abel went to jail. And nobody was getting them out of jail because everybody around the office going, well, wow, they're still in jail, And they received no help from No Limit, And I also remember, when Make 'Em Say came out, and Mystical had the part on a song called "I'm the Shit on This Tank,"
I might not be nothing to you, but I'm the shit. No, was that another track? I know he said he's the shit on the label though.
Man, them niggas didn't like that shit, man. Them niggas did not like that. He made a lot of motherfuckers mad. He made a lot. But it was funny because that's just Mystical, That's just him. That's just his style, And man, let me tell you something. I'm Big Swoll. I'm the No Limit soldier to the day I die. If you fucking like it or not, I don't give a fuck. But that's who I am. That's who I am. Oh, I never heard of you. Who gives a fuck? I don't care if you ever heard of me. It doesn't bother me.
You gotta know Big Swoll, man. It's like, I think somebody was in the group the other day in the comments and they said something about, Swoll and Pokey and Bessie. Man, I said, as soon as you hear those names, I say, if you've been listening to No Limit,
And people think I get mad. Oh, I never heard of Big Swoll. Okay. I never heard of you either. It doesn't bother me, And, because I know what I am. Hey man, look, people laugh at me, I'm a farmer. I live on a farm. I have a house in New Orleans. I got horses, I got dogs, I ride, I'm a farm boy. I'm not no hood man. I don't represent no hood. I represent my farm, I'm a family man, I read. I love to read. I read all the time. I love reading about mental issues, like diabetes and hypertension, high blood pressure, because I think the most important thing is prevention, because so many people are saying, oh, I didn't know, I didn't know. You just haven't realized the symptoms, Just like you talking about your sleep apnea, people say you snoring.
Yeah.
They're telling you, They're telling you, hey man, somebody's telling you, And I just Rich, that's why I love Rick Ross. I love Rick Ross. I love Rihanna, and I love Jay-Z because what they're doing for the community, And they got a lot of rich rappers, but nobody's richer than Rihanna. Rihanna's worth $600 million in net worth. Her company makes $5 million a year in cosmetics. Nobody got that kind of. We go crazy when brother has, $100 million or $200 million. We're talking about $600 million. The only person higher than her is what's the boy that crazy all the time? Kanye West. He's a billionaire. But it still goes back to, people don't realize every time you use your credit card and they got a chip on the back of your credit card, Jay-Z owns that company. He wouldn't have partnership with that company. If you come to the United States, everybody got Ring security on their doors. Ring, with the video cameras. People don't know that Nas was one of the investors of Ring. He invested $10 million, and when they sold the company, he got $100 million back of a $10 million investment in Rick Ross. The dude invested in healthcare companies. He's investing in the healthcare industries. Everybody keeps talking about how Rick Ross is making his money. That motherfucker's a hustler. He is, man. When I started reading about him and invested in healthcare, health providing companies, I like that dude. And then reading about he lives on 400 acres, this big ass house in Atlanta, and he was paying $1 million a year for people to cut his grass. So he started cutting his own grass.
Yeah, they say his house is where they shot the Coming to America movie.
Yeah.
They shot that Coming to America. They shot that at Rick Ross's house, man.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something.
That made that look like Zabunda.
I've been in that house when Vander Holyfield owned it.
Okay.
When Vander Holyfield owned it, I was in Atlanta, and I was real good friends with one of his friends that brought me over there. Man, that fucking house is huge. It's humongous, and but that's we got to start taking his health, so serious, man. Look, see this here? I don't know if you see it. See this?
Yeah.
This is a machine that's connected to my heart. I got to walk around with a machine 24/7. I got a 2-inch cable coming out of my stomach, going to the back of my heart. And I was in the best shape of my life when I had my heart attack. I was in the best shape. Now, what I think my problem is, I was drinking a bunch of Red Bulls and taking them fat burners. I think that's what caused my heart attack, because I was a Red Bull and fat burner fanatic, and I never thought, come on, man, Now I'm 54 years old, still benching 500, deadlifting 800, leg pressing, 1,500. I'm in a gym going crazy, I'm going, and then have a heart attack at night. Doesn't make no sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. If you'd have met me 2 years ago, I had a 20-inch neck, big old shoulders, big chest, big everything. Not my goal anymore. I just want to stay alive for my family.
Wow.
And I know, I might not look the same as far as muscle wise, but I still fuck you up. I still would shoot your ass. I may have lost the muscles, but I haven't lost the mentality. You
wouldn't have to step, man. Still a soldier.
Always, it's just always, man. But man, it's like I told you a couple of times, man. You have skills that I dream about. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Stuff that you do, man, people should reach out to you, man, because you're good. You're good at your craft. You're a good rapper, you're a good writer, recorder. You're not working damn computers. And man, I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. I hope God bless you in so many ways, because man, you got a talent, and you have a talent I wish I had. I wish I can do videos and music and do editing and stuff like that. But see, everybody's born with a talent, and God gives everybody a gift. If you don't use your gift, to me that's a sin. I'm athletic. It's my talent. I love to write. That's my talent. I'm a great speaker. That's my talent. Everybody has a talent. It's like I was telling the guy the other day. He said, "Man, what advice that you have for young people in the music industry?" And I told him, "Have your music career and have another career that pays your fucking bills. Because when you first come out, you ain't making no money. Sorry, you got to pay them bills. Have your career that you can pay them bills with. You know, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's washing cars, cutting grass. You gotta pay them bills, you know? Unless you want to sling that dope and get caught, you'll go to jail. You know, but it still comes back to healthcare, man. And I want, I hope everybody see this video and just understand, man. It's brothers like you and me. We're trying to better the hip hop community. We're trying to better the music community. We're trying to better artists. You know, we're trying to make people understand, hey, man, you know, something's wrong with me mentally, or something, I can't sleep. You know, even if, just oh man, I feel, when I stand up, I feel dizzy. A lot of people don't know because their sugar is low. You know, a lot of people are diabetics, don't even know they're diabetics. You know, and I will always tell people this: everybody needs to get a physical examination twice a year. You know, twice a year. Get your blood work done. You know, just a little physical. You know, let me tell you something. Somebody told me, one time, and there's a friend of mine. He's a billionaire, and he's like, Randy, what is up with your people in hip hop? I said, what you mean? Y'all walk around with all this money, showing up your money, but a lot of y'all just unhealthy.
And that crazy, right? Because I think hip hop's not to say one of the only cultures, but I think it's gone that way, especially more so nowadays with the excessive drug use and promotion and stuff. But overall, it doesn't promote positive lifestyles or healthy lifestyles in some sense, because looking at a culture that was, birthed out of the struggle. So especially in its early days, we're talking storytelling and certain things, but it really not. There wasn't really that side for pushing health, especially for pushing positive development of health, eating better, thinking better in some ways. We got some of that in some songs. So I think the stuff that guys like us that we're looking at doing now, especially within this hip hop union, and give it back, because this is a real thing, man. Look over the last year or so alone, how much rappers we've heard have died. Ecstasy, Shock G.
Right.
They came out with something with Shock G. They said he was in a hotel room and apparently, he was, whatever they say, he took something or whatever. But the same thing, people are trying to, Pimp C was in a hotel room, we would sleep, people were traveling, we're going places, and people are eating fast food, people are, there's so much stuff. One of the points that I wanted to pick up on, though, actually, because you made a great point when you was talking about Nas and some of these guys making investments. And because sometimes I feel some of the people with money, they only invest back into like low level things or stuff that isn't necessarily going to be that positive. Like out here in the UK, a lot of people, I'm gonna set up a fast food shop, or I'm gonna set up other stuff like that. So do you think the focus should be more around putting money into more founder investments?
It's just like, with me, I would love to tell people more about the farming business, because white people have been doing this for hundreds of years. Every time you go to a restaurant, there's steaks. You go to McDonald's, there's beef. You go to Burger King, there's beef. Any fast food place you go to, there's beef. There's so much money to be made, with this, with beef. Man, there's a couple of times I've had people say, man, you need to call, Master P and tell him get into the beef industry. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, because the brother don't want to listen. He don't want to learn.
He got Big Papa's Burgers. Is it in New Orleans or Slidell? Have you checked that out? Big Papa's Burgers.
Never been there. Never been there. Never heard of it. It's my first time hearing about it. I'm being honest. Don't that know Mia X has a restaurant, but she cooks. But I never heard of Big Papa hamburgers.
Okay.
I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. So maybe it could be a link there, because I don't know what kind of beef they use in there. But
no, man, I don't want to go.
I'm just joshing with you.
I don't want to go to business, I'd rather stay in business by myself, and do the Swoll thing, I don't believe in putting my name on my products. I don't believe in putting my pictures on my product. That's not me. I want I want everybody to buy it. You know, whatever I put out, I want everybody to buy it, you know? And me personally, I think when you put your name and your picture and stuff on stuff, you limit your fan base, you know? I mean, because nobody should know how you look, you know, if you're selling whatever. I just don't believe nobody should know how you look, you know?
Yeah, because when it comes to like these big brands and stuff, we don't necessarily know the faces or the owners behind them in that aspect.
There's only one businessman that I know who I like to, you know, as far as business wise, how should I say, admire, and that's Jay Prince from Rapper Lock Records. Okay, a lot of people don't know that Jay Prince sell cattle. You know, a lot of people don't know he sells hay, and he's real big in the landscaping. You know, with solder grass and all that. A lot of people don't know that Jay Prince is
a big ranch and stuff, right? He still got a big ranch.
Yeah, he still got it, and he's also a boxing promoter. You know, and he has these shops that customize cars and wheels and shit. You know, I mean that brother's doing.
He had like Zap Jr. and them quite early and stuff coming through the boxing dojo and stuff.
Because I tell people all the time, they think I'm crazy when they say, "Well, who's the most dangerous person in hip hop?" I tell them Jay Prince. They say, "Why?" I say, "That nigga can make you disappear. You know, he's not to be played with." And you know, people don't. This is something that a lot of people don't know. The reason why Cash Money is broke is because of Jay Prince. Because a lot of people don't know that Jay Prince Jr., his son, who backed Drake, you know, and he the one that brought Drake to Young Money Records. And when Drake was making all his money, Birdman wasn't paying him, you know? And so it was like something like close to 100 million, something like that, you know, that he owed Jay Prince Jr. and, you know, Jay Prince. And they went to Birdman, told Birdman, "You're going to get our fucking money," you know? And you have to remember, everybody want to know, well, you know, what happened to Birdman's money? He had to pay people off. Yep. Look how he messed up with DJ Khaled. He's a homeboy. That brother's from New Orleans. He made all those beats for them and didn't get fucked over like that. You don't want to pay the man? Hip hop, bro, is a fucked up world.
Hip hop is a different industry, man. I mean, speaking of Jay Prince, because I mean, you ain't have to speak on this if you don't wish to, but we did hear over the years something about P and the incident with Pimp C, and Jay Prince sort of squashing it out. I mean, was you around No Limit at that time, or do you have intel on that?
I was there, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so
some things should stay in the family.
Yeah.
Some things should stay in the family. It's like I won't talk about that. You know, I might talk a little bit about Pastor Troy. You know, what happened with that? Just a little. You know, people understand. You know, there's things I know I would go to jail for.
Yeah, I could, you know, I mean, like I said, I want to, you know, put any speculation in that. I only mention any of these because these are kind of out there publicly that people are speaking about.
See, I would never say anything on film that get me in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and you know,
it ain't my job to do that. I ain't glad.
Right. No, we're straight. We straight. I mean, like I said, there's stuff that happened at No Limit that I'll never tell nobody about. You know, and you know, it just is what it is. You know, I just feel, I think, I thought me and P were brothers. I thought we were friends. You know, but I guess we not. You know, because like I said, I haven't, brother. You know, I got ill. I mean, you know, nobody contacted me. You know, so I mean, I'm still good though because. Do you think he was probably hurt from, I don't mean from you, but just with like everybody leaving and all that stuff, and he kind of made him just No, I didn't
from everybody or something.
I didn't leave No Limit. He abandoned us at WCW. You know, he stopped showing up for shows. No, I never left No Limit.
Yeah, different. You know?
Yeah. You know, the problem was, and people have to realize, Our promoter was Dusty Rhodes, who's a famous wrestler. You know, Dusty Rhodes, American Dream. So Dusty called me up in the meeting. He said, Randy, we got a problem. He said, what? He said, man, the No Limit Soldiers are turning to the heels. The West Texas Rednecks are turning to the good guys. We gotta make people turn on them. I said, okay, we're gonna fly you to Atlanta, you're gonna do a wrestling match, they're gonna jump and you're gonna lose the match. Cool. Did that, flew back to New Orleans. Man, I get a phone call. I'm being cut out, called motherfuckers, all kind of shit, you know? Motherfucker, that's what you want to do? Do this shit yourself. That was the last time me and P ever talked, and the last time we ever seen each other. He stopped showing up for shows. He didn't show up for pay-per-view, you know? And I tell anybody, that was hurtful to me, you know, because that was my dream to be a professional wrestler. And now I have it in my hand, you know. They got to remember, wrestling go by storyline. You knew that. It's a storyline. Yeah. And when he stopped showing up, you know, Eric Bischoff, now they mad at me.
Wow. They written you up. I mean, I did hear an interview with Bischoff, and he bigged you up, man, with Conrad on podcast. Yeah. He said, piece of big Swoll pretty much. He said, Swoll, I miss Swoll. Swoll was a nice guy, man.
And I mean, that's the way I carried myself, you know what I'm saying? Because when somebody say, oh man, you gotta hear what Eric Bischoff said about you. I said, what? So they played it for me. I mean, that was nice, you know, like we said, Swoll was very professional, you know, he's a nice brother, blah, blah, blah. And man, I'm gonna tell you something.
He put you over? Yeah.
You know, man, I'm gonna tell you, WCW was paying me $20,000 a month just to sit backstage at shows.
Wow.
$20,000 a month. Because, they were so mad because we had merchandise coming out. They wanted to send us to Japan, But like I said, my boy just stopped showing up.
And we seen the video game character was you gonna be supposed to be on the WCW video game too.
It stopped. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And like I said, hey, things happen for a reason because, like I said, we haven't talked since. Like I said, two things gotta happen. He has to call me, which is not gonna happen, and I have to answer the phone. That won't happen.
But I think you said on the last interview before you ain't gonna call him.
Yeah. I mean, if I never see him again, I'm cool. I'm straight. I mean, it is what it is. I know that I know my boy's a V90 man. I'm cool with Boz. I have no beef with Boz. Mr. Servon, talk to him. Mia, I'm a tank dog for life, but to me, I just think it was a selfish move, because we signed a year contract with a second year option, and man, for you to stop showing up for shows, and come on, think about it. Who don't show up to pay per view?
Jeff Hardy.
Bands at the beach.
No, but I thought,
the No Limit Soldiers, y'all gonna win. But we had to make the fans mad at the West Texas Rednecks.
Yeah, because they were getting over. I think it being in the South and stuff as well. Let me tell you something. When they dropped that South Rapids crap, it was over from.
Let me tell you something.
Even I'm a rap fan. And I'm a No Limit fan. I was happy to see No Limit there. And I'm a wrestling fan, but when they dropped that shit, I was like,
let me tell you something. And this is true. I want to be part of West Texas.
I hate rap. Everybody seen that shit.
They was having so much fun.
Yep, exactly. That's what
they was having so much fun. And I'm like, well, man, I won't be part of West Texas Redneck, And man, but me and Kurt Hennig, we were best friends. We went to wrestling school together. Me and Bobby Duncan, we played each other in college, so we know each other from college football, But this is something that a lot of people don't know. When I went to WCW, and I'm sitting at the table with Dusty Rhodes, I'm sitting at the table with Kevin Nash and Macho Man Randy Savage. So we're sitting there, and they said, Randy, who you want to be part of No Limit Soldier? The very first name, I want New Jack. And you know what they told me? No fucking way in the world. I said, what? I said, man, we got to have New Jack. And they was like, you can't have him. He's too much of a liability. I said, man, but you asked me who I wanted, you know? So it's going to be Rey Mysterio. It's going to be you. It's going to be Conan. It's going to be a young little guy out of wrestling school named Chase. It's going to be BA, you know, 4x4, you know, and the No Limit Soldiers. And I was like, cool. But they would not give me New Jack. They wouldn't do it, man. And New Jack, I seen him one time in Atlanta. He was pissed off. He was mad as shit. He said, man, when they told me that you wanted me to be part of the No Limit Soldier, and they said no, he was really pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, was it you that, how did he find out? Was it you that told him?
No, I didn't tell him. Somebody else told him.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't tell him. Somebody else told him, you know, and I never told him, but
I've seen the shoot interviews. You know, we put something up about it as well, where you seen Kevin, you see Nash.
Yeah, Kevin Nash. Yeah. That was funny, you know. But he was serious though. He's like, motherfucker, I don't know you. Don't that know you? You know, you want to be part of No Limit Soldiers. Let me tell you something, man. We could have wrote that shit for at least a year.
Yeah.
At least a year. Because
some people are saying if it was WWE, they probably would have knew better what to do with you guys. Okay. But I think at the time, just at WCW being ran, it was like, you know, you had so much going on, the NWO, all this stuff. I mean, you guys could have been just as big, but they wouldn't have, you know, pushed it to that point. You know,
it tripped me out when people say, "Oh, Big Swoll couldn't wrestle." I can wrestle, but I come from old school. I want to be like Stan Hansen. You know, I want to be like Ernie Ladd. I'm not all that damn flipping shit. You know, that shit ain't me. I never. But see, you have to remember, my gimmick was I jumped out of the ring, out the audience, and got. So they didn't want me to do a lot of wrestling. They wanted me to do a lot of punching, clothesline, and that's what they wanted me to do. So when I see people, look, I was trained by Brad Riggins, you know, who trained the Road Warriors, Kurt Hennig, Steiner brothers.
And you're coming from a generation where the business was different then. It wasn't based on, so it was based on it, you know, looking like a shoot. You know, a big guy like yourself, people look like, you know, they don't want to mess with you. And what made you come up with use the hot punch as a finish?
That's dedication to my brother. My oldest brother, his name is Ronald Marchand, and now it's his favorite move when we was a kid. You know, he's my oldest brother, so you know, it was just my way of dedicating, you know, my joy to him. It's like when people see me do this here, you know, they think I'm throwing up a gang sign.
It looks like you're throwing up the free.
No, say for the University of Houston.
Okay.
This is our sign from college. You know, at University of Houston, we do this, you know, and that's our hand sign. And people always saying, oh, he always throwing up gang signs. No.
Yeah, because you did that in the WCW and the pictures and stuff. And all.
Yeah. And so I'm always, you know, they see me doing this, that's just my way to tell University of Houston alumni, you know, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, and, the hot punch, it definitely stood out, man. And I was a fan of your ring work, man, because you used to do some of the, you know, the hip hop sort of style. And one thing with WCW was the commentary was a bit corny sometimes, but I enjoyed it. So I mean, hearing like fucking Mike Tenay and Zabisco, you know, calling you matches and stuff as well was pretty dope. Oh, look at this guy, Swoll. You know, they always had something to say when you got in the ring.
They had so much planned for the No Limit Soldier. Like I said, they was ready for us to go to Japan. You know, because you know hip hop is big in Japan.
Oh yeah,
real big.
Yeah.
They had to cancel all that. You know,
even the C Matter that said that fans in Japan love this ghetto rap.
I'll tell you something, man. People don't realize hip hop.
Hold on, Kenny, they both signed, but go ahead.
Hip hop is so big in Japan, and man, you know, but you know, there's some stories, you know, that tell people all the time. Like people don't realize that I used to work for AWA. You know, when that was popping, I did the last. Matter of fact, if you do your research, I did the last show for AWA in history. I was on the last card. And I also worked with New Japan. You know, one of my very first matches with a guy by the name of Hashimoto, who you probably know of. Anybody know a wrestler know Hashimoto.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and you know, when I got into the industry, I seen so much hate. And I seen so much racism in the wrestling industry, you know. You know, to me, watching Ric Flair do hip hop videos, you know, with the Three Amigos just fucks my head up, because he was so against the No Limit Soldiers, you know, being at WCW. Hulk Hogan didn't want us there. You know, Booker T didn't want us there. I mean, a lot of people didn't want us there.
I was gonna ask, what was it like with Booker, man, and some of the black wrestlers, Ice Train and those guys? And do you know anything about the I know there was an incident with, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm gonna do a story on it. It was a WCW wrestler, black guy, and I'm sure he ended up doing some jail time and stuff as well. But I can't remember what he did.
I don't know.
But
I'm gonna tell you right now.
And then they sued the company though, because they were saying that they weren't pushing the black wrestlers and stuff properly.
Well, I'm tell you now, I never fucked with Booker T. We're not friends. We never hung out. Now his brother's cool. You know? Yeah, Steve, he's cool. I just never, you know what I mean? Now 4x4, he hung out with, you know, Booker T and all of them. You know, my partner, he hung out with them. You know, I'll tell people in a minute, the nicest person I ever met in wrestling, you know, is Sid Vicious. You know, Sid Vicious, man, was one of the most nicest person I ever met in my life. You know, and I mean, but, you know, right now to see, you know, WWE and all these black champions, I'm so proud, you know, because we come such a long way.
I never thought would have seen it.
You know, back in the day, yeah. You know, back in the day, they used black wrestlers as jobbers. You know, we made the white boys look good. You know, but you had the people like Ernie Ladd. You had the Rock Daddy. You had you know,
JYD,
Atlas, and all them. You know, Pork Chop Cash and Ray Candy. You know, Thunderbolt Patterson. But a lot of times they use, you know, black wrestlers just to promote white wrestlers. You know, we come in there, we big, we strong, we athletic. Hold on, 1 second. That's my dog going crazy outside. Yeah. We you know, we do this thing, and they want us to be jobbers, man. And I didn't want to be a jobber, you know. And I'm like, no, you know. It's like one time, a promoter in Japan called me up and said, "Swoll, can you take an ass whipping for 20 minutes?" An ass whipping for 20 minutes? What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? When I was young, I remember one of the times my mom, she asked me what I want to be when I grow up, and I was big into wrestling. I said I want to be a wrestler, and she said, "What? So you can make a white boy beat you, like beat you up kind of." And that's all you used to see on the TV at the times that they used to see from the black wrestlers.
Hold on 1 second.
They was always getting whooped, you know.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Yeah. I'm sorry. Man, my dog's outside going crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I forgot all I was saying. Being a jobber, you know.
Yeah, getting jobbed out so well.
I got a phone call and they said, "You take an ass whipping for 20 minutes." And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean ass whipping?" They said, "We want to fly you to Japan. We want you to wrestle Big Van Vader." Because I know him as Leon. We went to the same wrestling school.
Okay. Yeah. Rest in peace.
I said, okay. I said, "Well, what's the storyline?" They said, "There is no storyline. He's going to beat the shit out your ass for 20 minutes. I said, "Well, what's my spots?" "You don't have no spots. He's going to slaughter you." And the first day I told him, I said, "Motherfucker, you stupid. You do know I have to go to the barbershop in New Orleans, right?" They're like, "Huh? Man, I can't walk in no barbershop, you know, when we get my ass whipped like that." I said, "No, man, I'm not doing it." The promoters told me, "You'll never work in Japan again." I said, "Cool. I don't give a fuck. Who cares?" Yeah. They'll work in Japan again.
I mean, the guy I was thinking of in WCW was Hardbody Harrison.
Oh, yeah, Hardbody. Yeah. Yeah, that motherfucker's always fighting. You'd be amazed how many fights they have after shows. Yeah, a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised, because especially those days when the business was like, you know, people didn't know too much. You came,
Right.
They'll probably want to test you when they see you out in the streets and all that.
But it's like I tell people all the time, I wouldn't have wrestled Goldberg. He was hurting too many people. He was putting people in the hospital.
No.
You know, there's a lot of those guys that was real stiff. You know, they were very, very stiff. And
Who would you say is one of the stiffest guys that you work maybe in the ring throwing a lot of potatoes?
Big Van Vader.
Okay.
Vader had to be the stiffest person because he came up, you know, wrestling Stan Hansen. And if you know the history of Stan Hansen,
Yep.
man, you fought Stan Hansen, you really had to fight.
He's singing them lariats in there so
Yeah,
you
know?
Yeah.
And you know, but he was trained by the Funk brothers, you know, Terry Funk and them, who I heard is not doing too good lately, you know.
I read that today. Was it dementia? They say he got.
Yeah, he's put in the hospital. And I got some bad news today for No Limit fans. I heard that they say it's true, but King George, who's the original No Limit, you know, with TRU, he's blind. He went blind. You know, he has some kind of illness, and you know, he went blind. And they say he's blind now. You know, if King George ever hit us, man, we still love you. You know, you'll always be part, you know, of the family. You know, man, I wish him and his family the best. You know, but I talked to Man this morning. You know, Man told me that. He's like, man, you know, King George, he went blind last week. I was like, wow. So, you know, I like to ask, you know, the hip hop community, you know, to pray for the brother. Mm-hmm. But you know, but it's man, I want to, you know, again, man, it's just, you know, we just got to do something about, you know, our community. You know, we got to become better as people. You know, we can sit here and laugh
and be there to support each other. I think it's stuff, you know, in a way, because as you said, I think a lot of times people get caught up on differences and, you know, things that happened in the past and the directions that we go. Sometimes it's like, you know, when we take a journey, you may go down this street, I may go down that street, but we got to get to the same place in the end. So instead of people squabbling and, okay, you took that road, I took that road, we got to understand, okay, we're still family. We can stay connected, stay communicated, and come back down. We can always meet down the road, if that makes sense. So sometimes things are around for a season and then we branch off and we come back together. But you know, it's a shame to hear that about King George and stuff as well, because he definitely one of an original in his own right and stuff. And you know, so we'll definitely find some more information on that and see if there's a way that people can like maybe donate to his family or support some stuff as well, man. Because man,
look, man, I just want to say, you know, I gotta get him to go feed some horses. But man, I want to say thank you very much, man. Seriously. I mean, I appreciate, man, and please, man. You know,
anytime, man, you know, you're always welcome.
I want you, man. I want you to keep doing what you're doing, and man, man, you're good. Seriously, you know, I like your music. I like your work. Don't stop, man, because you know sometimes you know we think we ain't making no headway. That's when something's about to happen, you know.
Yeah,
and man,
I appreciate you, man.
I love your music, man. I love your production. I love your videos, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, you know, man. And you know, ask yourself, you know, what's the reason I'm doing this? You know, and ask yourself that question. You know, and once you find out peace in that, you know, you'll know your destiny. You know, but man, I want to say thank you very much. I really do appreciate you. And you know, I'm not only want to talk to No Limit fans. I'm talking to the music industry. You know, the whole music industry, hip hop, country. You know, get your physical examination. You know, get yourself checked and you know deal with your health issues. And man, I want to say thank you very much, man. And I gotta go ahead and feed these horses for the.
Definitely, man. God bless you, my brother. You know, we definitely be keeping you in our thoughts, prayers, and all that, and well wishes. Let you get to handling business, and yeah, just hit me back. We'll chat back up soon, man, and stuff.
Yeah.
definitely, you know, for the hip hop community, as you said, this isn't just a No Limit thing. No Limit's just our cipher that we happen to be a part of. We're building that cipher, but we represent the whole hip hop community and the whole culture and all of our people. So we definitely want to say peace to the family, salute, support, man.
Well, this is something I want to tell people because they ask me all the time. I get asked a lot who's my favorite rappers, and I got two favorite rappers that I like. One is Dead Presidents. You know, I love Dead Presidents. I listen to all their music. I love them. And the second person who's tied my number one, I'm a big fan of Kevin Gates. You know, I feel like
you were telling me that last time, Kevin, when you in the gym.
I love man. Kevin Gates. Every time I hear that brother speak, it's like he's talking about me. You know, and he's so positive. You know, but. Man, but them horses are going crazy.
I was going to say, before I leave, because you got me started now, one more question, because I usually get you, so when we get back here, your top 5 No Limit albums. I know how you feel about Skullduggery where I'm from, but your top 5 albums.
All right, I'm gonna tell you my top 5 artists, because at No Limit, everybody, you know, if you do an album, and everybody gets on the album.
Feature, yeah.
I'm giving you my top 5. I'm a Soldier Slim fanatic, you know, because I watched Soldier Slim battle, you know, freestyle. Nobody No Limit could touch him, you know.
You know.
Boy was it, you know, and I love Mac, you know. I love Mac. Magic, one of my favorite. Fiend is one of my big favorite. Mia. My number one favorite has to be Mystical. And C Murder. You know. And I love, you know, to be honest with you, I love the Gambinos. I thought them little guys was hot, you know. And so, you know, but you know, that was my, you know, my favorites. And plus, you know, people don't realize, you know, I sit here and laugh about all the songs, you know, that I set in on. And I still say Where You're From with Skullduggery is the hardest fucking song ever made at No Limit. You know? And I love Cain and Abel, Time After Time. That's a favorite song. You know, the song with Magic and Mystical, you know. Did what I wanted.
Did what I had to do. Whatever really wanted was cash.
Oh, hold on. I must be going crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot my girl, Mercedes. Oh man.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm saying that song which she did with her and Magic. Oh.
Was that the Bonnie and Clyde?
Yes.
Bonnie? That song was crazy. Yeah.
Man, I love, man. Today I still listen to that song.
Yeah.
Mercedes, you know, and Magic. Man, you talk about going at it, man. But you know that's that. You know, and I like The Last Don. You know, I mean that was a cool LP. You know, it was nice. You know, but you know, man, you know, but I just thought of all the brothers. There's so many albums that you all never heard of. I mean, you know, we had to stop production on a couple of songs because Prince was gonna sue us for a song we did. We couldn't put it out. Donna Ross, we sampled one of her songs. We tried 2, but she put a halt to that. And Bon Jovi went with that song, I'm a soldier in a steel horse. Yeah, Bon Jovi said, cut that shit right now. You know, y'all keep the song, but you can't promote it, you know. So, you know, there's so much stuff people have never heard of, you know. But, no, man, but you know, that's the best, man. But let me get out here.
Yeah, no, definitely. We appreciate it. I got next time, man.
I got a stud outside and I can hear him going crazy. So, you know, man, look, our peace, man. Look, always a soldier, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Salute, support, man.
All right, my brother.
Peace.
What's cracking? I'm out here in the UK. I'm straight out of Compton tour, man. Much love. And you know you rocking with, man. It's Lil Easy and we about that online. So we finna get it cracking, man.
Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on aboutthatonline.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.